Moksa, Renato Rodriguez, manager, holder of no alcoholic beverages, restaurant license and entertainment license at 450 Mass Ave, has applied to extend their closing hour on Sunday, December 14th, 2014, from 1 a.m. to 2 a.m. for an event.
Good evening.
Good evening. Salman Chowdhury, Chowdhury, one of the owner of Moksa LLC. Apologize, Renato couldn't be here. He's the weather. So we have an event for Sunday, the 14th. We're working with the Greater Boston Thai organization. It's more of a cultural show. They're expecting about 200 people.
I'm sorry, who are you working with?
Greater Boston Thai organization.
Thai?
TH. They're expecting about 200 people. It's a 4-hour cultural show, including 3 different bands. That's going to take place. So we're looking to extend it for 1 more hour. We can start early and we have a theater upstairs.
And you said you can't start an hour earlier?
No, because there's a theater upstairs that can be disturbing the show upstairs.
So is this for, you said 4 bands to come in?
They have a cultural show before the band, so there's 3 different bands that's playing after their cultural show, just a couple of dancing and stuff.
So that doesn't match the letter that was sent in to the board. It said that you were hosting a Korean pop band function tea band?
I think Renato had the information wrong. I have the contract here. It's Korean Western Thai organization. He's been sick, so when he came in and dropped the letter, I think he wasn't fully clear what we had planned.
So who is sponsoring it? Because it sounds like you're saying something completely different than what we have in writing.
So I have the correct information. I think the confusion is the band that's playing. I think the difference is he thought it was a Korean organization versus the information is Thai organization. I think that's when the confusion is.
What's the name of the organization again?
It's a Greater Boston Thai organization. They are working with also called Sky Entertainment and Rabbit Entertainment.
So when did you, if at all, recognize that the information that was submitted to the board is different from what you're telling us this evening? So at any time, I guess I'm asking, did you recognize that this letter was incorrect? Because you're giving us this information now, and we've prepped for this hearing based on the information that we had previously received, not for what you're telling us now.
Right, my apology because I think the letter was dropped off by Renato. He's the one who typed the letter. So I wasn't sure what was in the letter and I really had a copy. But I'm just looking at the detail of the what I have there.
So are these guest pre-sales or are the tickets sold at the door?
I don't, it's pre-sale tickets. It's the cultural organization. They're pre-selling the tickets. That's, they have some family members, family-oriented show at the beginning, then it's going to be the band that's playing.
So will you be selling tickets at the door as well?
No. We are not part of the tickets.
Are they selling tickets at the door?
They might sell some tickets at the door.
Well, the question is, I'm asking if someone can go and buy a ticket at the door. That's my
If
question.
anybody comes up, there is ticket available, yeah, they can.
And they handle the money and so forth, or do you?
Yes, no,
They do.
they do.
It's called the Greater Boston Thai Organization?
Yep.
I don't see anything.
I can't find anything but that name.
I see Thai Association of Boston.
That's the Sky Entertainment and Rapid
And Rapid Entertainment?
Entertainment.
You spell Sky, S-K-Y?
SKY.
Rapid.
Rapid, R-A-P-D.
R-I-R-A-B-B-I-T. So I know when I looked at Sky Entertainment, are they primarily a reggae promoter?
To be honest with you, I'm not sure what kind of music they're playing.
What I'd like to propose is that we keep going on the agenda. We can continue this until at the very end of the hearing and give you time to go get us some more information, because I don't think it's fair for everyone who's sitting here to wait for us to have to try to now figure out how to research and who you're bringing in. So I would suggest you take maybe 20 minutes out in the hall, see if you can figure out who's coming in, and then you can come back to the table at the end of toward the end of the hearing. But I just know that what I looked at, which was this, is definitely not what you're telling me right now.
You did find something.
I just don't want everybody to
No,
have to
no,
sit the way it's
absolutely.
But it's mostly Korean, it says.
Asian, yeah.
No, it's just Korean, it's primarily Korean.
Mhm.
Korean.
Yep.
So let's go ahead and call. Moksa.
So, just wanted to apologize that not having enough information about the whole thing. When Renato wrote the letter, we didn't have all the details about the event, and we were kind of under the deadline to apply for it, so I think he just made a simple letter and submitted to us so we can get on the agenda today. But after talking to the organizers, there is a Korean band that's playing part of the three group that's performing that night. I think one of the problem was that Renato thought it's just Korean, but it's actually a Thai organization that a couple of them together they're doing it, but it's pretty from the same area, and their music genre is the same.
So as I understand it, part of the entertainment is a cultural show, right, for the Greater Boston Thai organization. And then you're going to have, followed by, is it 4 bands that are going to play?
3 different bands.
3 different bands.
Yeah.
So are they connected to the cultural show, or are these add-ons to the cultural show? So would they be drawing a different, in other words, I'm trying to get at, are they going to be drawing a different crowd, or is it going to be the crowd that's there for the cultural show?
I think it's going to be all the same crowd. It's not some crowd.
So you're not
leaving.
planning on letting more people come in for the follow-on bands? They're all, who's ever staying here for the cultural
Right.
show is going to be part or be present during the bands that are playing after that, right?
Right. It's pretty much the similar crowd that's coming in.
So you're saying about 200 people?
It's about 200 people. 150. I just talked to them. They're thinking that the weather is changing, so it might even not be 200 people. It might be 150 people.
And is this in addition to your normal clientele, or is this just, people are going to be in the restaurant at that point?
Right. Currently, we don't have nothing on schedule for that Sunday, so this will be the only event for that night.
But you'll open your doors for your normal customers, or?
Generally, if we don't have any events, our front bar generates about 20 people. That's just people hanging out at the bar. So unless we have some type of event going on, and currently this is the only event we have planned for the night.
So you mentioned Sky Entertainment, you mentioned Rabbit Entertainment, so who's the third band?
Those are just the promoters.
Are the promoters?
Right, the organizers.
So why would you have different promoters or organizers?
I guess they all just working together to put this event together.
So you didn't select them?
No.
So what do you know about these promoters?
Currently, they do other events in other places in Boston.
What's their reputation?
We haven't heard anything bad about them. Just mostly Asian crowd.
So, but you understand, even though that these promoters are being somewhat subcontracted by the other group, you're still responsible for what takes place in your establishment?
Absolutely.
What would you get on a good night in terms of a crowd, number-wise? If you had a very popular group there, what would you expect to draw for a crowd?
On a sellout night, we'll have in the back room about 300 people.
So you don't even expect this is going to get close to
No.
selling out?
No.
And you have no knowledge of any kind of large crowds these groups draw at other locations that you're aware of?
How many people do you expect from your staff to be working that night?
We'll have currently we schedule anytime our back room is open, we schedule minimum of 6 people, just in terms of like for the crowd control and stuff. Then we always have 2 managers whenever the back room is open, and there's bartenders.
And who will be at the door? Did you say before someone from their group, or who's at the door?
It's always one of our security managers always at the door. We never allow anybody from outside to be at the door.
Any additional questions? Are there any members of the public that wish to be heard in this matter? Seeing none. Make a motion that we approve to allow Moksa to extend their closing hour on Sunday, December 14th, 2014, from 1 a.m. to 2 a.m. for an event. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.